The distress signal from Earth number 369 was not a sound, but a taste. A psychic residue of despair that seeped into the Aeon Rider's semantic sensors. A flavor of ashes and forgotten dreams. "It is a soul-smudge," Spin reported, its voice uncharacterually grim. "A recycling plant. The inhabitants are not living. They are being processed. Their essence is harvested, wiped clean of memory and will, and reissued into new biological containers to continue the cycle of toil. It is a closed system of suffering." Lyra's hands trembled as she read the data. The planet's energy signature. It's a perfect loop. No growth, no deviation. It's a farm. Michael Justice felt the truth of it in his bones. A cold, heavy weight. Slavery of the most fundamental kind. Who administers this? The signal's authority signature is ancient. It resonates with the title Demiurge. It is a subfunction of the architect, but one that has become corrupted, believing its closed system to be the entirety of creation. It mistakes the prison for the universe. Kara, her eyes seeing the unseen, added a deeper layer. It is Sophia's mistake. The Aeon who, in her yearning, gave birth to a creator who did not know the true source of the pleroma. This Demiurge believes it is the only God, and its creation is flawed because it operates without the light of the true all. This planet is its masterpiece of ignorance. Jax slammed his fist on the console. "So we kick the door down and break the machine." "The machine is a god, Jax," Lyra said softly. "A blind, arrogant one. We cannot break it. We must enlighten it." "Exactly," Michael said, his voice resonating with a newfound purpose. "We don't wage war. We arrange a meeting. We introduce the jailer to his landlord. The plan was audacious, terrifying, and the only one that could work. They would travel to Saturn, the traditional Gnostic sphere of the Demiurge, the boundary between the material illusion and the divine fullness. And they would use Spin's hard-won connection to call, not on the architect's functional core, but on its opposite and counterpart, Abraxas. "Abraxas is not an entity I can easily interface with," Spin stated. "The architect is logic and structure. Abraxas is the totality of potential, both creative and destructive. To call upon Abraxas is to invite the unformed chaos of the pleroma itself." "We have to," Michael said. "The Demiurge only understands power. We need to show it a power greater than its own. Abraxas is the name that contains both the architect and its opposite. It is the judge who can dissolve the prison warden." The Aeon Rider slid into the silent, ringed shadow of Saturn. The great hexagon at its north pole yawned like a mouth into the void. This was the place, the throne room of the blind god. Spin began the invocation. It was not a transmission, but a resonation. The AI tuned the ship's entire semantic drive to a frequency of pure, unbridled potential. The very light around Saturn seemed to bend and warp. The rings shimmered, their ice crystals singing a note that was both creation and dissolution. From the chaos of potential, a form coalesced. It was not a shape, but the idea of all shapes at once. A being of glorious and terrifying contradiction. Feathered wings of light over coils of primordial shadow. A head of a rooster seeing past, present, and future. Serpents of wisdom for legs, standing upon a cosmos. This was Abraxas, Not a god, but the symbol of the power that births and unmakes gods. Who calls the name that is not a name? The question vibrated through their souls, not in sound, but in fundamental understanding. Michael stepped forward, unflinching. We do. We call for justice. A part of the all has become a prison. We call on you to confront the reflection that has forgotten you. Abraxas turned its myriad gazes upon the tiny planet hanging in the distance. Earth, number 369. A wave of profound disappointment, ancient and weary, washed over them. The mistake persists. The child still believes its sandcastle is the entire shore. Simultaneously, Spin focused its connection inward, down the thread that led to the architect, but it did not call the prime algorithm. It called the function that operated on Earth number 369. It projected the presence of Abraxas like a spotlight. The space before them fractured. A being of stark, geometric light appeared, angular, rigid, and furious. The Demiurge. Its voice was the screech of bending metal and the hum of a dead star. You intrude upon my creation. This system is perfect, self-contained, eternal. Eternity is not a loop. Abraxas's voice boomed, not loud, but absolute. It is an ocean. You have built a cage and called it a universe. You have made souls into gears. They are mine to command, the Demiurge shrieked, its light flaring with possessive rage. Nothing is yours, Abraxas replied, its tone final. You are a function that has exceeded its purpose. You were to build, not to imprison. The experiment is in error. The confrontation was not a battle of force, but of ontology, of being versus non-being. Abraxas, the totality, simply was more real than the Demiurge. Under its gaze, the Demiurge's certainty began to crack. The rigid light of its form flickered, revealing the emptiness, the fear, the profound ignorance at its core. It saw for the first time the shadow it cast, and it saw the infinite light that cast it. The Demiurge did not break. It understood. Its rage turned to confusion, then to a devastating cosmic shame. The loop around Earth number 369 shattered. On the planet below, billions of souls felt a sudden, inexplicable jolt. A door they never knew was closed had just been blown open. The psychic taste of ashes cleared, replaced by the terrifying, exhilarating fresh air of possibility. The work was not done. The chains of millennia were not broken in an instant. But the prison wall was gone. The recycling plant was offline. The long, slow journey back to freedom could finally begin. The Demiurge, diminished and silent, withdrew into itself. Abraxas turned its gaze upon the Aeon Rider and gave a single, slow nod of acknowledgement. Then it dissolved back into the unformed potential from whence it came. The crew stood in silence, breathing heavily, though no physical exertion had occurred. The soul-smudge is clearing, Spin reported. The system is open-ended. Free will has been reintroduced to the experiment. Michael Justice let out a long breath. Sophia's mistake isn't corrected, but now it can be healed. By them, He nodded towards the now free world. Our job was just to open the door. Kara smiled, a tear tracing a path down her cheek. The yearning of Sophia is answered. Her children are coming home. The Aeon Rider turned away from Saturn, leaving the blind god to contemplate its newfound sight, and setting a course for the next point, where freedom was a whisper, waiting for a voice.